All right, we're live on Angie's Angles with my co-host with the most host, Pete O'Shea.
Hey, everybody.
Uh, Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Angie's Angles. It is September 25th in the year of my Lord 2025. And we start today's broadcast with the Mets winning 3-0 so far. Compliments of Francisco Lindor's home run, Mark Viento's foul ball into the stands that was ruled out of play. So everybody got a base. And then a prompt single by Brandon Nimmo sucks.
Who now has a career high in RBIs, by the way.
Yeah, listen, Pete, don't rub it in, bro.
He's got over 90 RBIs now. Over 90.
I know. Kevin Elliott is praying. He's on his knees that Nimmo hits 100 so he can rub it in the rest of the offseason. So we're going to try to take a different approach tonight and be a little bit upbeat about the Mets. If you saw my thumbnail on Facebook and YouTube, the New York Mets are rising. They're coming out of the ashes of the Phoenix. We're bringing it home tonight.
The whole way we're bringing it home. And this is still a heck of a baseball team, Ange. You know this as well as I do. When you got stars, you can win. Frankie Lindor steps up tonight, right? One more, he's 30-30 again, right? Come on, these guys can do it. You got 3 or 4 guys can carry you all the way. And this kid tonight is pitching, like you said, lights out with a breaking pitches I haven't seen for.
My God.
I've never seen movement like this before. This kid's got.
It's fantastic. He's got control on the movement.
It does.
Brady with a great play at third, bare-handed, very nice play. So Harold Atkins, Harold Sanderson, Nick Triano, Harold Squares making us duo interstitial.
All right. Wait, first of all, now, I love it when you do that opening. Don't ever stop. If you care for me, don't ever stop doing that. It's the best opening ever in TV. Second of all, welcome to 60, buddy. Happy birthday today, pal.
Thank you, Pete. It was actually in March, believe it or not. Sorry about that. But I posted that pic today because I kind of messed up at work with my brand new shoes.
No, you looked real good, buddy. All right, so get us going with the show, bud.
Yeah, so Harold, for once, can you not be a Cub fan? Harold says it's a young game yet. Harold, can we give us a win tonight, please? Is that possible?
You guys don't need the game. Cubs don't need the game.
Right, Cubs don't need it. We need it, Harold. So if you can, lend us a win tonight.
Rest some of your starters for us, will you?
So the Reds have already won, so it's necessary and mandatory that we win today. And then we go into unknown territory in Miami against the surprising Marlins, but no surprise to me, Pete. I predicted the Marlins having a good season this year. I believe they're 4 games off of a 500 season. And that's after they made some trades at the deadline, trading away some talent.
But they got a lot of young talent that they really high on, and you're going to see that as an ascending team. Remember, a couple of years back in that shortened year, they went to the playoffs also. So this is a team that can turn around whenever they want to. And remember this, too. Over several seasons in a row, they were the bugaboo team for the Mets at the end to get into the playoffs when they should have wiped the floor with a Marlins team. So here's a chance to exercise some demons, too, and put that to bed, you know? It's an easy team that we should be able to beat the Mets. If we put ourselves together, get everything firing down the stretch here, there's enough there, buddy. We know this, right?
1,000% and amen to that statement. So we got Pete Alonso in the last 11 games with a 1.1 OPS.
Wow.
Alonso's really turning it on. I mean,
what a season altogether. Over 120 RBIs, hitting 270. This is a guy going to get top 5 MVP votes, and he's going to get overpaid this winter. Mets should have gobbled him up last year when they had the chance. And they better get him back, or Soto has no protection. You better protect your big investment. Alonso has been dynamite. He had one bad slump. Other than that, he's been solid all year long. He's fallen in love with right center field, and I love that about him.
So we got Mark Brooks joining us. I am tri-interstatal. Harold Atkins is asking or posted a question. What do we think of the Marlins starting Sandy Alcantara? Well, he's called Alcantara, although his name is spelled Alcantara, and that's how I pronounce it. However, yeah, Harold, thanks for the question. The Marlins actually rearranged their pitching rotation to make sure that we saw Sandy. Sandy's not having a good season. I believe his ERA is up in the fours, if not fives, but he's a qualitative pitcher for sure. And they're pulling out all the stops to play the Devil's Advocate against the New York Metropolitans. Programming update. Vientos just flew out on a good diving stop play by the Chicago Cubs outfielder, the left fielder. I think that's Hap out there, Harold. Harold Sanderson, is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's
Playing left?
happened.
Yeah. So you got to fill us in on it. And hashtag Brandon Nimmo sucks is up at the plate, although he's 1-for-1 with a single and RBI today. So we're gonna try to give you a play-by-play updates on the Mets. Very must-win game today. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Every game's a must win from here on in. We're already in the playoffs now. That's the way you have to look at it. And everything is a win or go home scenario now. That means all hands on deck. Your pinch runners, your guy that's going to pitch to just one lefty, you're this, you're that. Everybody is going to have to pull out all the stops down the stretch here. Especially if you get in it. You'll be limping in and you're going to be going up against teams ready to go that were already set. So you're going to have to, this is it. We're already in the playoffs now.
It's a good point. And we have to hope we get length from McLean tonight. I mean, it would be fantastic if he could go 7, if not 8, because as you know, Pete, we went through that ragtag bullpen last night trying to save face.
We've been wearing out this bullpen lately, and the big additions that were made have been disastrous so far, especially Helsley, who has not missed a bat since he showed up after being an all-star closer in St. Louis. That throws a monkey wrench in all your plans going down the stretch. So you better get some innings out of McLean tonight and a couple others. Look at this whole season, buddy. We're about 5 innings a game. That's it at max from our starters.
Now, here's a curious question, right? You're sitting Francisco Alvarez tonight in favor of Torrens. I mean, Alvarez is coming off back-to-back home run games. I mean, we really need to understand, is he hurt? Is he just getting a rest? I mean, Torrens defensively is equal to Francisco's ability, but not with the bat, obviously.
The word I thought I heard, and I could be wrong, was that he was rushed back from the rehab assignment because they needed him. And maybe that means he's not quite 100%. And the injury was to his hand, also, if I remember correctly. So you want to catch McLean with a bad hand?
So, and true to form, Torrens just hit a single up the middle. We got first and second.
There you go, buddy. So he's doing his part.
Must have been dialing into Angie's angles.
He heard you. He's got an earpiece in his ear. He heard you from he was while he's at the plate there. He's listening.
Hey, we got new listener Samuel Stevens. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Samuel.
Sam, give us a little input from where you're from. And Joe Echevarria, how's the heart, my brother? And
Hoping
Joe,
it's good.
You dropped me a note that you might be coming to the lounge in March. It'd be
All
an
right.
honor to meet you, brother. So
All right, so I got a question for you now, Ange.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
Assuming we are going to make the playoffs, which I think we do, and I think we can get ourselves past the early wild card and get into a division.
Beatty, sorry to interrupt you, Beatty, 3-run homer.
Hey, there you go. That was worth interrupting.
6-0.
6-0. All right, so back to my question.
Yeah.
Do you use all 3 of the kids as starters in a 5-game series? or 7-game series in a series, do you use all 3 kids as starters?
So in the wild card format, it's a 3-game series.
I
Best out of
understand that. I
3.
said assuming we get
Yeah.
past that. I said
Oh,
assuming we get past that, and you got to lock up with somebody for 7 games against one of those better teams. Do you use all 3 kids in the rotation?
now let me ask you a question. Isn't the after the wild card series, isn't it best of 5? And
Okay,
then
even at best of
yeah,
5, the point
you,
still stands, pal. Do,
fair.
do we use
So
all 3 kids, or are we using Senga? Are we using Holmes? Are we using Manaya? You got 6 guys. You're really only going to need 3,
yeah,
4 at the most.
I don't think you're. It'd be unprecedented, Pete, right? But
I think so.
I think you have no choice because now you're playing with house money in the playoffs, right? You made the playoffs and you're playing with house money, so you have to go with your the best of the best.
I don't know. I think you use McLean, and then you after that maybe Sprout, but the other kid I don't think so. And I would try to see if I could get Senga right between now and then somehow, or one of the other two. Again, Holmes or Mania are also sitting there too.
I think Holmes has to come out of the bullpen.
I think in the end, both of those guys got to come out of the bullpen. I think next year, both of those guys got to come out of the bullpen. If you want this team to win, both of those guys have to come out of the bullpen next year. And you got to
A
replace them
lot
with
of
top
money
quality
coming.
starters.
That's a lot of money coming out of the bullpen, my friend.
But you have no choice. You already spent the money, and you're not going to have room for them next year. If all 3 kids are part of the rotation, right? You got Senga too. You're going to try to bring, and there's another kid at AAA they like a lot. So you're running out of spaces here. So at some point, you're going to have to get quality arms that you don't have in the bullpen too. So you're going to have to overpay those 2 guys. You're not going to have much of a choice if all 3 kids stick next year, and Senga bounces back. Only one of them can get a spot anyways, and you know you're going to try to upgrade somewhere. And if not, again, they still got. I can't remember. There's another kid in AAA they love. So you're running out of spaces.
Well, we got Christian Scott rehabbing from Tommy John.
You got that also, okay? And McGill will be back also by next year. If
So
you do you resign Peterson? That's another question now. With all that depth of starters, none of which has besides McLean, the high end status you're looking for. Do you sign Peterson again with all this other names we just said?
Harold Atkins wants us to note that he feels that Mania should be left off the roster going into the playoffs.
Wow, he's probably right. Okay, he has not produced $25 million. He didn't start till June, and he has not pitched well. He doesn't seem to have near the velocity he had last year. And so you're right. And Holmes is we talked about this last time, way past the limit of innings he did 2 seasons in a row.
Right.
Okay, so he's
Right.
way past the 2 years before.
Right.
So how long before he falls apart? So you all will be playing with house money, but what I'm curious to know is will these 3 young guys be able to stand up as a 1, 2, and 3 long term, knowing that the Mets lately have had a bad track record of being able to do that. They couldn't keep DeGrom and the Dark Knight and Syndergaard together. Pulsifer was a mess. I'll give you 5 more. It's been a long time since we properly cultivated pitching. We're going to put all our eggs in 3 kids now. Is that smart when you really don't know how to do it right?
The only thing that I see as a benefit is the notes on the 3 kids are limited, right? The batters might not have seen them. They don't know what the delivery and the pitch selection is, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's going to come down to our catchers calling the game. If they're allowed to call the game. And both catchers call great games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Alvarez is second to none calling the game. And Torrens is right behind him. He's 1-1A. But so as it stands right now, I believe we're playing the Brewers in the playoffs if we're the 6th team. And we've talked about this, right? We've talked about if the Cubs and Harold, I'm sorry to present this scenario, but if the Cubs don't overtake the Brewers, it's so unfair for the Brewers to have to play a wild card game or wild card series. They won their division. And because they have the lesser record of the other two teams that won their division, they're tasked in playing a wild card game, so they could ultimately lose. Now, all three games will be in Milwaukee, but they've got demons to exercise, to put it in your words, because we took care of the Brewers last year.
That we did. And so that'll be very interesting to see how that all turns out. But back to what we were going on. To me, the advantage, if all three kids are in the rotation, is that they're going to come cheap compared to 20 to $40 million aces. You'll have three kids that come together, don't make but a million or two, and you'll be able to spend money in center field, DH, bullpen, any way you want. If those three kids stick and you can figure out what to do with either Mania or Holmes, you'll have money to spend because those kids are coming in a very cost effective manner for a while to come, too.
Now, the only benefit that I see going into the playoffs, we'll trim the relievers a little bit. We'll leave them off the roster. The Braza Bonds will be left off the roster. Maybe Soto is going to be left off the roster because we'll have that depth of starters that you can pull in for 2 innings. Now, the danger with that is if your games are close, do you run them back-to-back days? Because they only know how to start. They don't know how to, pace themselves for the rest of the game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
that could hurt somebody.
But we spoke about this from the 86 series, how Sid Fernandez was tremendous. He was a star in the playoffs coming out of the bullpen.
Oh, yeah. And he would give them 4 or 5 innings out of the pen and then be
Right.
able to come back the next day and still throw to 2 or 3 guys, And he had a rubber arm that whole playoffs.
Yes.
Manaya's had experience out of the bullpen. So is Holmes. Holmes was a closer. It's not like they've never done it before. They're well aware of how to transition into the position. It's not new for them, either one of them.
A little game update. McLean has just struck out the first 2 Cub batters with wicked breaking balls, just wicked. And he's getting squeezed. He threw one right on the number, right on the edge of the plate, and the ump called it a ball. Now, that could work against us also, right? Because if we go with our rookie starters, the umpires are not going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Excellent point. Excellent point, brother. Excellent point. That's true. The veterans are going to get the calls, not them.
Right. So it's going to be dicey. And the sad thing is, so we're going to need to set up our pitching against Miami because we're going to need to win those games.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to throw the cavalry at Miami, and all hands are on deck. And I don't know. Oh, Tuesday the wild card. So you got a day off. You got a day off. Right. It's not a lot of time to recover.
You got to travel too, because you ain't gonna have a home game.
That's correct. That is correct. And that first win is absolutely paramount.
Especially on the road, especially against a team exercising demons, and especially if you can't get your rotation set up because you got to spend all your bullets just to get in. And so it's going to be interesting. McLean's going to give you another great start tonight. So I have another interesting question for you, Ange.
Yeah.
Do you just go ahead now and lock him up and overpay him a little now and do a long-term deal with him, knowing he's heading above the other two and pretty much every other rookie in baseball right now?
Speaking of that, he just gave up a bomb to Suzuki. Nobody on.
Well, thanks a lot. The timing. I'm sorry about that. See, again, he was listening, and I got him nervous.
Absolutely. So it's a great question. So what he's got 5 years before he's arbitration eligible, I think.
It would be 5 more years before he's free agent eligible. He could be arbitration eligible by next year if he's a Super 2. Well, not next year because this is not considered his rookie year, right? He hasn't had enough starts. Right. So in your second year completed, you can be a Super 2 and already be arbitration eligible. If you let it get to that point, it gets acrimonious, it gets difficult, and then you wind up overpaying. You better serve to make a deal with him now. Give him an 8-year deal for 40 million. You're overpaying him on the front end, but you're major underpaying him on the back.
It's not a bad thought, Pete. I can't disagree with that comment.
Just he's been so electric, so beautiful. If it finishes that way this offseason, you have to consider the idea. So you show confidence in him and you get that cost certainty for the next 4 or 5 years or however long you sign him for. You do not want that kid to continue on the free. Ask Pittsburgh if they're happy how it's going with Skeens. All right, his ERA is under a deuce, dude. You know how much money he's going to get someday? Oh, man.
Yeah, and the problem is the Pirates blew that game that he was winning.
They'll
You know,
blow all the game. He's got a losing record for the year with an ERA under a deuce. What does that tell you? That means you don't deserve that kid. If you can't put money and team and players around him, then trade him. I've said this to you many times. This season, especially because the way the local TV contracts all disintegrated so quickly, the small market teams are even more desperate than they've ever been financially. Oakland, Tampa Bay, several Pittsburgh, several other Colorado. You have got to take advantage of that as a big market team and just absolutely tear that roster apart and steal from them anybody worth having because it's the time to do it. It's the way baseball's doing it since the the dawn of the game. Okay, but certainly through the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. How do you think the Stankies kept being good? They waited till other teams couldn't make payroll in August and started buying their best players for cash. And that's how they did it over and over again. Well, this is the modern day version of it, and the Mets have to be out in front of this. Stearns, I don't want to hear about your analytics. Let Cohen write his checks now.
Joe Echeverria says the Mets should grab Skeens when he's a free agent. That's
Yeah,
a
but
couple years down the road, brother.
that's
Can
quite a
we get
young. He's only in his second year, so you're looking
right?
at four
Yeah.
more seasons after this before that happens.
Can
And
can
so,
yeah.
that's not plausible. Again,
Can,
I seriously think Pittsburgh should just trade him. I think you look stupid holding on to him. You have no chance to win with him. You could get 7 or 8 prospects for him in a trade.
Kivalinix wants to add that he thinks that Cohen is enamored with Cody Bellinger and he's going to make a play for Cody Bellinger. Do you bring Cody Bellinger over and play in center field?
Yeah, okay. If that's the center fielder you can find, why not? He's having an excellent season. Still young,
Yeah,
left-handed bats. Okay,
right.
can also play first base if you need him in a pinch. Can play all 3 outfield positions. You see his arm this year. He's been throwing the guys out left and right. Sure, if you can get him at the right price, Cody Bellinger is a good player.
Problem is the right price.
Yeah, and again, like we talked about earlier, there's going to be a bidding war. More teams than ever think they're a competitor. More teams than ever are back swinging around. Seattle won its first division in 24 years, yes, last night. So they're going to start spending more than ever. The teams that were ready to sell, like Cleveland, for instance, who was out of it 6 weeks ago, they would have traded Ramirez if they continued in the offseason that way. Now they're going to be looking to buy. So it changes everything. More bidders on Alonso and Bellinger, the price is going to go up. They're going to get overpaid, both of them. And Schwarber also. He's also a free agent. Kyle Schwarber.
Yes, but me and Kevin had this conversation offline. I can't root for Schwalbe as a Met. I can't do it.
You wouldn't take him as our DH?
I can't do it, Pete. I can't do it.
Oh my! What has he got? 50 home runs this year, right now?
Yeah, he's a lot of home runs. Yeah, I don't listen. I dangled that in front of Kevin, and he's right. Francisco Lindor. Oh, right to the warning track. Almost another one. He's swinging a hot bat finally. Thank God. Pete, we're at the 8:54 mark. Why don't
Okay.
you drop the information, the news that we're going to drop on Angie's Angles, and then we'll go into the press circle and end our podcast tonight.
Okay, that sounds good, buddy. With the help of some friends and the support of a bunch of people, we have decided, a bunch of us, to start a radio network. We're going to call it the Authentic Friends Radio. It'll be available on the internet. We'll have apps. We'll have all kinds of stuff we'll be announcing in the next few days, where we're going to have community radio. 1 hour weekly shows from 84 individuals, all from all different walks of life. about sports, politics, religion, real estate, money, you name it. We're going to have relationships. We're going to have shows about it. And we're going to get a worldwide reach from a couple of friends of ours who have a lot of pull in this media business. And so the very first show that's going to debut next week on the Authentic Friends Network is going to be Angie's Angles. We're going to be bringing it on over to that network, and it will air the weeks this show the following. It'll air the following week on that network. So if you miss a show, you'll be able to listen live, and then the next time you'll be able to listen again, and you'll be able to get more and more of Angie's Angles and good down home. Genuine community radio like we remembered it. Anti AI. That's what I want to be. They're going to feed us RoboCop, Angie, and I'm going to give them Andy Taylor. We're going to give him Mayberry. And we'll see
That's
if we
smart.
can't give them some good down home radio. And one of the first shows, I got another show called Potholes and Street Corners about growing up in New York City with a guy named Gooch. You guys are going to love him. And several other great shows coming. So tune in for more in the weeks to come. We're going to put out all kinds of information. But for now, you can all go to CRADIO International. So CRadioINT.com. And that's where it'll be. But I'm going to have apps and everything to make it even easier than that for everybody soon. But with the first show coming on board is going to be Angie's Angles.
We're going global, folks, and I gotta thank Pete. When he presented this to me at first, I'm like, but it's Angie's Angles. We're a small market. Well, not small market. I can't say small market because everybody's dialing in from America. And to be honest, I wasn't really sure of my ability. Am I really got good quality to throw on this organized radio station? But he talked me through my fears. I'm addressing them. I think we're going to do well. I just downloaded CapCut, so I'm going to try to do a video. Now, this is radio. Angie's Angles is going to be different. You can still see us every Thursday. But these are for the truckers and the people traveling late shifts at night that want to listen to some good quality radio. And I'll bring the energy. That's for sure. Those getting road hypnosis will be wide awake listening to Angie's Angles.
Well, you have more than enough talent, buddy, and you hit exactly right. This is community radio on the internet. So people who are truckers who live all over the world, we're going to be the sister station to another internet station called KDW. They get listeners from Guam and every continent, and they're getting to 12,000 listeners an hour in a teeny little community radio station online. We're going to be doing the same, buddy, and you're more than qualified. I'm super excited that your show is coming on board.
Well, I owe a debt of gratitude to you, my friend, for getting this all set up. I appreciate you greatly.
My pleasure.
So we're going to go into the prayer circle. We're praying for Harold Sanderson, Dawn Squared. We're praying for Carol and Bob, and we're praying for Harold's friend Jerry. We're praying for Terry Sanchez. Her mom's legs are getting better. She's over in Europe traveling right now and keeping her mother-in-law and uncle's memory alive. Antoinette Brooks, Mark Brooks, we need an update on Antoinette's brother in search of his kidney. Scott Tobias, we're praying for your wife and your mom. Clark, we're praying for Brad and Trish. Linda Stein, we're praying for yourself, your dad, your hand, your house situation. And Linda wants to constantly remind us she's praying for humanity and asks us to do the same. Amen to that.
Amen.
Kevin Elliott, we're praying for your health, both physical and I'll throw in the mental just for my sake, because you're a nut. Trout's family, we're praying for Aubrey as she remains in remission from her cancer battle. Deb and Lee down in Maryland, we're praying for great results for Lee. Marianne Bello out in Las Vegas, we're praying for you, young lady, and your mom. Larry Levy, as you and your wife Frida face remission also with the cancer. Mr. McGowan, sir, we have your 6, my friend. Praying for you. Ralph, recovering from a little scary surgery he had, but now he just had a bout with the gallbladder. So he's here at the lounge tonight, and we're praying for him. We continue to pray for Pete and Shani as they embark on their new adventures in Florida. Things seem to be going well, although The devil still throws some hurdles in their way, but they're conquering them.
I got one too. Can I add one in, buddy?
Yeah.
Friday night, around 4 o'clock in the morning, we welcomed into the family a brand new grandson, Luca Francis, 6.5 pounds, beautiful baby boy. We went down and saw him Saturday morning. Please pray for him and his mother, Liv.
Amen to that. And congratulations as the O'Shea family grows.
Granny Shanny and Peepaw.
Tom, we're praying for you with your severe pneumonia bout. There was a home run by a Cub. So now the score is 6-2. It looked like Dansby Swanson hit it. That's who it looks like. So it's 6-2 in the bottom of the fifth. I'm sorry to interrupt the prayer service. Big John in the smoke therapy lounge, we're praying for good results on your leg. Joe Echevarria, thank you for signing on tonight. We are praying for your heart condition. Pete G here in the lounge wants us to pray for his friend who passed. We're praying for Johnny Barbecue as he's dealing with severe sciatica. God, I know what that feels like. We're praying for John's friends Jimmy, Jimmy's sister Barbara who passed, and cousin Joseph. That concludes our prayer service for this week on Angie's Angles. Pete O'Shea, it's always a pleasure, my friend. I am so honored and blessed that we've reconnected. You bring quality to the podcast. I appreciate you greatly, my friend.
You know, dude, I feed off your energy, your excitement. You rejuvenated my love of the game just by being part of the show with you again. So thank you, buddy. Thank you.
No problem. This has been Angie's Angles, come to you live from Smoke Therapy, 215 Ronkonkoma Avenue, Ronkonkoma, New York. If you're ever in the neighborhood, cigars on me. Good night. God bless. We love you. Good night, Pete.
Good night, buddy. Great job.